Governor 2.0 here to bring you another video. This video was requested by Minnie SW Callis on Twitter. Thank you for your request. And she wanted to see a video about who I ship and what my speculation is for the future of The Walking Dead in Season 5. Alright, so I'm going to start off with who I ship. I am a Bethel shipper over Carol. I do respect both ships, though. I think the ship wars are ridiculous. I think there is definitely no need at all for all the hate that goes between the shippers. Because for me, The Walking Dead isn't all about the ship, so it's a big part of it. I think The Walking Dead is more about the character development in general, and I think it's about good storyline. So, I mean, if Beth and Daryl don't end up together, then they don't end up together. If Carol and Beth end up together, that's fine too. I just see more of a future for Daryl and Beth, judging by Season 4. And also the fact that I feel like Carol is far too independent to be in a relationship with a man like Daryl, who probably would try to be a bit controlling. Not nearly to Ed's level. However, I know he's an alpha male. He wouldn't just kind of let things be as they would be, and we saw a little in Season 2 that he can lash out at Carol, so I don't really see a future for them other than a friendship. I think they will definitely remain good friends, but I don't see a romantic relationship with them as I do with Beth and Daryl. However, it would be hilarious if Daryl was gay, like there's been some speculation on and rumors about, because I think that would be just perfect, because it would prove both sides of the ship wars wrong, and I think it would just be very ironic. It would be not what everybody was expecting. I also shipped Lori and Rick. They were a good couple when they were, in their good times when they were still talking, and even after Lori died, Rick's reaction was just... it was very real in how upset he was. I could definitely see them being a real-life couple and this man being devastated by the loss of his wife. And Andrew Lincoln's reaction was just spot on. I also ship Shane and Andrea, as well as the Governor and Andrea, though obviously none of those ships are still have any meaning because everybody in that group is dead. Rest in peace, Shane and the Governor. The show kills me, I'm telling you. Bob and Sasha, definitely. Bob and Sasha. Glenn and Maggie, definitely. They're one of my favorites in the entire show. Because, I mean, they're a perfect couple. If you read the comics, you kind of knew beforehand what was going to happen, but I think the way that they've been played out on the TV show is great. And I think that's about all for my ships. Like I said, the show isn't just about ships for me, so I don't ship everybody with everybody. I just, there are a couple I see chemistry with. Alright, now for the next part of this video, my future speculation. Now, I definitely think that the termites, the people at Terminus, are the TV show version of the Hunters, especially judging by the amazing Season 5 trailer when you saw the guy cutting somebody up with a chainsaw. I think that was definitely a person for food. Who knows, they could completely be screwing with us, screwing with the wrong people. And they could not be cannibals, but I think they definitely are. And I think that when they're about to basically slaughter them in that scene we've seen with everybody on their knees, with the gags in their mouths, and I think Bob's gonna really step up, and I think Bob has a lot of good things coming. And I know the actor Lawrence Gilliard Jr. is very nice. I've interacted with him on Twitter, and I've actually photobombed him in person, so that was pretty great. I think Bob has a good future in the show, and I really hope they keep him around. I'm really liking the change from just being a random drunk guy in Woodbury in the comics to being such a big, important character in the show. But I think Bob is really going to save everybody when he says, look, we have this guy who knows a cure. bring us to Washington, and we can cure this. There will be no need for the cannibalism. I think that really appeals to Gareth and the people at Terminus, because I feel like the only reason they are cannibals, if they are, is because that's the only way they can survive. I think that they're probably, at like in the comics, not very good at hunting animals, and they're a lot better at getting people in there, obviously, with the elaborate those who arrive survive, follow the train tracks to Terminus thing, which is on a lot bigger scale than in the comic books. So I really like that. I think that then Gareth is going to kind of force Rick's group to stay with him and go to Washington. But I think there's definitely going to be some big arguments between Rick and Gareth, and I think eventually Gareth is going to do something and kill somebody in the group. There's going to be an argument or something, and Rick is going to have to kill Gareth, which I think is going to be great. And so then we might see kind of a big war between Terminus and Rick's group, the prison group, if you will. On a much larger scale than in A, because Rick's group will be expecting it this time. So it'll be a much more even fight, even though Rick's group may be outnumbered. And I'm also thinking that Morgan might be in Terminus, because if you listen very carefully, when they're running by the train cars and people are yelling for help, it sounds an awful lot like Morgan's voice yelling for help. So I think that would be a really awesome twist to have Morgan play a part in the Terminus storyline. Now, obviously, we've seen in the trailer that Rick does get reunited with Judith, which means he gets reunited with Carol and Tyrese. And I think they might also have something to do with the big fight between the termites and the prison group. As for the future of that, I know they're definitely going to find Father Gabriel's church, but I think they might do something just different with Father Gabriel. And I think, though he might have the same backstory, I think they're just going to go either in the path that maybe he's not a good guy. Maybe he's not going to help out the group and give them safe haven. Maybe he's going to end up turning them out like he did the people before them at some point. So I think that should be interesting to see. I'm not really sure about him because we don't have too much to go by. All we've seen is him crying in a corner, so not really sure. As for Abraham's group, I'm a huge Abraham fan in the comics, so I'm expecting pretty great things from them. I'm definitely expecting Abraham, especially from the trailer, to be a huge badass. I think he's just gonna be amazing. People are gonna be like blown away, like Daryl who, because he's just so badass. Eugene, I definitely don't think he knows the cure. I think it's going to go out like the comics, where he kind of just wanted to get with Rosita and Abraham for protection, and that he doesn't really know anything about what caused it. And they're going to get to Washington just because that would keep Eugene in Abraham's group for a while. So that's how I think the beginning of the season is going to play out. And I think at the very end of the season, after the mid-season finale, after all that, I think we might get Negan. I think he might show up next season as the main villain, but at the very end, we'll have a run-in with Negan, and it will end with Glenn's death. I definitely think Glenn is dying this season. So that's my main speculation. As always, like, subscribe if you please. Follow me on Twitter at thegovernor108, and be sure to request more videos or give me suggestions on what to do. I know it's very informal, there's no starting slides or anything, but I'm just starting out on YouTube. I don't really know how to make all this stuff, so I think I'm just gonna, keep on talking about my Walking Dead, because I love The Walking Dead, obviously, if you can't tell by my wall. Anyway, have a good one. Kill them all.